Get them!
The Justice Brothers!
Hello, I'm John McCain.
A community organizer cannot start bitching when communities organize, even if they are organizing against him. Welcome back. Rush Limbaugh here on The Cutting Edge. The Heritage Foundation has a marvelous post today. The people spreading disinformation about Obamacare. This is fascinating. The White House is losing the health care debate. Polls from National Public Radio, Wall Street Journal, NBC News, The Washington Post, Gallup, and Pew all show that the American people do not support Obama's health care plan. The White House wants people to believe they are losing the health care debate because scary videos are starting to percolate on the internet that are spreading disinformation about Obama's health care plan. The White House is even encouraging Obama supporters to help them identify people spreading this disinformation. We told you, Eric Erickson at redstate.com found it yesterday. You know what this is? This is Obama's own exclusive private domestic spying program. This website at flag at whitehouse.gov, if you get a White House blog, if you get an email or see something on the web about health insurance reform that seems fishy, send it to flag at whitehouse.gov. His own private domestic spying program. He is asking citizens to inform on others. Now, that means they're going to have to be hearing about a lot of people because a majority of people oppose this utter debacle and disaster. Now, as the Heritage people right here, in the interest of honest debate, we'd like to flag the White House about some prominent people that are directly contradicting the president about what his health care plan would do to the American people. The president's out there saying you will not lose your private insurance. The president's out there saying you will not get health care rationed. The president has explicitly said that the public option will not eliminate private insurance. He told the AMA on June 15th what are not legitimate concerns are those being put forward claiming a public option is somehow a Trojan horse for a single-payer system. That's the president. No public option will take away your private insurance. However, 1, 2, 3, 4 liberals, 2 of them elected, 2 of them in the state-controlled media, virtually assure us that we will lose our private insurance. Jan Schakowsky, Democrat, Illinois, at a Healthcare for America Now rally. Next to me was a guy from the insurance company who argued against the public health insurance option, saying it would let private insurance compete, or wouldn't let private insurance compete. The public option will put the private insurance industry out of business and lead to single payer. My single-payer friends, he was right. The man was right. Our plan in the House would indeed eliminate private insurance. So who's spreading disinformation, Mr. President? You are spreading disinformation. Your party is spreading disinformation. Your party is lying to the American people because they have no other choice. Barney Frank, and we have played audio sound bites from Barney on this. We even, I had it in a stack yesterday and didn't get a chance to get to it. But he told Single Payer Action this: I think if we get a good public option, it could lead to single payer, and that's the best way to reach single payer. Saying you'll do nothing till you get single payer is a sure way never to get it. I think the best way we're going to get single payer, the only way, is to have a public option and demonstrate the strength of its power. Yet Obama is running ads. He's got Linda Douglas out there saying there's all this disinformation being said about my plan. My plan won't destroy private insurance. Well, 2 elected Democrats in the House have just said that it will and that they want that to happen. So who's spreading the disinformation? Washington Post blogger Ezra Klein at the Democrat National Convention last year. Quote, they have a sneaky strategy, the point of which is to put in place something that over time, natural incentives within its own market will move it to single payer. Washington Post blogger Ezra Klein was being told this by Democrats at their convention last summer. Nobel Prize-winning New York Times columnist Paul Krugman The only reason not to do single payer is that politically it's hard to do in one step. You'd have to convince people completely to give up the insurance they have, whereas something that lets people keep the insurance they have but then offers the option of a public plan that may evolve into a single payer plan. Now, as Heritage says, Americans do deserve an honest debate about this. President Obama, Barney Frank, Jan Schakowsky cannot all be right. Either the president is lying when he says his plan will not lead to government-run health care, or Frank and Schakowsky are spreading disinformation. Regardless, it's not us lying about the plan. Mr. Gibbs, Mr. Obama, we are telling the truth about it. It is your party that is lying because you care more about tort lawyers and public sector union bosses than any other group of people in this country. This is why Heritage is so valuable, folks. You know, limited government, full liberty are two of the hallmarks of the people at the Heritage Foundation. They are doing the best work anywhere inside the Beltway. They research and provide the facts on all that's happening and changing in Washington. It's amazing. They're in D.C., but they don't do D.C. speak. They're us. They can't do it alone, though. They have 435,000 members, or maybe it's even more than that now. You should become one, too, for just $25. Just go to askheritage.org. And you can also do show prep in the morning, same time I'm doing it. www.askheritage.org. Steve Dryhouse, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He's a member of Congress from Cincinnati, a Democrat, held a town hall to talk about health reform on Monday. And during the Q&A, an unidentified woman shouted, it is very hard to hear, it's very bad audio. I'll tell you what she says after I play this. We cut the cheers down to save some time. What she said, there's plenty of competition out there. We don't need government in our face. And the audience erupted in supportive cheers. Here is the talking point that's been spread to all of the state-run media and elected officials. This is a montage.
Well-dressed, middle-class people in pinks and limes, the Brooks Brothers Brigade.
The last time I saw well-dressed people doing this was when Al Gore asked me to go down to Florida when they were recounting the ballots, and I was confronted with the same type of people.
Like that crowd of Republican staffers that showed up for Bush against Gore down in Florida. It's the same kind of approach.
That Brooks Brothers riot from Florida 2000.
So once again, a talking point has gone out, and the state-run media dutifully reports it and repeats it, along with all of the others in the elected ranks of the Democrat Party. So you're not real, folks. You're too well dressed. You're wearing a uniform. You look too much like Brooks Brothers. When the truth is, most of you are in economic circumstances you couldn't afford to go in the door at Brooks Brothers.
More mind-boggling coming up on the